We would turn the mic over to Perry Brown, Lafayette City Councilman, District 3.
You know, Josh, if you wanted, since it's right here, you could have read it.
I'm scared what he's going to say.
And wow, I was listening to that introduction, and I kept wondering if somebody else was going to come in the room. And since, well, one thing that Josh didn't mention is that I am from Chicago. Consequently, that plain brown envelope that that pays for that that stirring introduction is on your desk right now. But on to the matters at hand. And that we take time on this day to honor the memory and legacy of Dr. Martin Luther King, I would submit to you that we must honor this hallowed past not by recitation or repetition, but by imitation and emulation on a very personal level. I, for one, believe that history is not what happened 500 years ago, 5,000 miles away, but what average, ordinary, everyday people do every day to make their lives and their communities a better place. What I will suggest to you is that you do not simply honor Dr. King, but that you, as best you can, be Dr. King. I ask you to live his legacy and to change our history. And to help in that effort, I submit for your consideration the subject for our talk today: how to be a king. While I would not charge you with a mission without telling you what was at stake, I'll now talk to you about what we face. We face a situation where education, the one tool afforded to us all to advance us intellectually and economically, is under assault at all levels. Public education is being sacrificed on the altar of no new taxes, while college education is quickly being priced beyond the reach of all but the very well-to-do. Beyond our notice and just out of our sight, a monster raises its head to remind us of this country's ugly past. Yes, that old devil, that old dragon, racism, still stalks this land, abusing some while devouring others, wearing a business suit during the day and a sheet for entertaining at night. We face a culture where children have children so young that no one has time to parent. And while some grow up too fast, others don't grow up at all. Because the culture of drugs and gangs and crime offers them more hope than we do. We face a nearly unassailable system of economic inequality put in place by the rich and powerful that tends to make race almost irrelevant. Because to paraphrase Herman Cain, if you don't have a job and you ain't rich, it's your fault. In this brave new world, our children will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their bank account. We face the wicked political trends of a nation that chooses to ride boldly backwards to a divisive, self-destructive, and mostly imaginary past, where exclusion meets delusion, where corporations are people, where right to work don't really mean that. And Rush Limbaugh uses all three chins to say that the First Lady of the United States is fat. To stand and survive the ugly storm of modern times, we need kings. We need more kings to speak truth to power and then speak that truth to us. We need more kings to stand up for us, with us, and when need be, to us. And since there are none on the horizon, we need to make our own. I got a few suggestions on how that's done. Wow. First of all, learn to surpass your limitations. Not only your own, but the ones that others set up for you. I remember in the movies, you remember Dirty Harry?
A man's got to know his limitations.
While it is wise to recognize your personal limitations, it is foolish to be bound by them. If you don't lift that heavy weight, you will never grow strong. If you do not run that extra mile, you will not gain endurance. If you do not get involved with the Hannah Community Center, you will never know just how much you can do for people in need. If you are limited by what people might say, or what you think they think, or what they think, you will never know your power to change the world around you. 2, connect with a higher power. Look inside yourself to that secret, sacred place where God resides. And yes, you've got to look for it. Because first of all, you've got to put aside selfish motives. You've got to set aside your ego. You've got to get rid of that need to please people. And do something about that greedy flesh. Moving past all that, you will find for yourself the place where that Spirit resides that makes all things possible. Most importantly, when you seek that help, make sure that you recognize it and accept it when it comes. I'm reminded of a great and terrible flood. A man is in his house and the water is rising all around him. With the flood reaching the first floor of his house, he looks out the window and a boat comes up. The rescue team of the boat calls out, come out of the house, come out of the house right now, the river's rising. The man says, no, go ahead on. I'm going to wait on the Lord. He will save me. The boat goes away and the water rises up, until the man is at the second floor of his house. Another boat comes up. And the crew says, get in the boat, sir. The river is rising and it don't look good. No, the man replies. The Lord will save you. And the boat goes away. Still the river rises up to the roof, covering all the trees around, and you find a man at the top of his house, clinging to his chimney. Out of the sky appears a helicopter. The chopper swoops down on the top of the house. The crew says, grab this rope. We will pull you out of here and get you to safety. Clinging to the chimney and his faith, the man says, go away. The Lord will save you. Low on fuel, they fly away. Finally, the unthinkable happens, and the man dies. He appears before the throne not in joy, but carrying a complaint. Lord, Lord, he cries, why didn't you save me? The Lord replies thusly, excuse me, what were you waiting for? I sent 2 boats and a helicopter.
Okay.
Recognize from whence cometh your help. And accept it.
Yes.
Like the old folks used to say, when something good's about to happen, they say, my ship's coming in.
All right.